You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Bryan White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother, Dave White. Hey, Dave, how you doing over there?
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm all right. You know, I keep having this recurring dream in which I am trapped in the parking lot of the Fox Run Mall in Newington, New Hampshire.
No shit. Well,
what do you think that's all about?
Is there a consistent like circumstance for why you're trapped? Is it that you're either walking or you're driving and you just can't seem to find a way out?
It's mostly that. It's driving around in circles. And sometimes there's a parking garage. Usually there's not. And I'm like driving around in circles. And in the dream, it's usually bigger than it actually is because it's fairly small, actual mall. But it's really weird.
Do you find yourself, is it the same dream every time, or is it the circumstances are different, but you just always seem to be trapped there?
It's hard to say. I don't usually remember my dreams that well, but there is a lot of consistency in what I'm doing at the mall. And the interior of the mall is always the same. It's 2 floors.
Yeah.
Which is weird because there aren't 2 floors there. And I usually enter through the door. I think there was a Lids hat store.
I know. Yes, I know where you're entering.
Is there still a hat store at the mall?
I don't think so.
What an odd store.
Also, I have not been there in a very, very long time, so I couldn't tell you. All I know is that the last time I was at that particular mall, there were a few very key stores that were still open. Most of the stores are shuttered and empty. It's about a third occupied by businesses, and about half of those are they're not like
just vape stores as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, they're not like stores in the way that you sort of like they used to be, where it's like Tape World and fucking Pepperidge Farms and stuff. Now it's like a couple of stores. There's like a FYE, I think it's called, which is like it used to be a music store until people stopped buying CDs, and now they just kind of sell liquidated fandom type stuff, anime shit. Anyways, not to get off track, but the other half are like places that sell like airbrushed T-shirts of like Eric Cartman smoking weed.
Okay,
so like,
I'm in.
yeah, it's really weird. It's very interesting. Well, also to sort of interpret the dream, there's something to be said about a dream where you're driving in circles. You know, the subtext is not exactly sub, but I have not had any in a while, but I also used to have dreams where, you know, the whatever the story my brain was telling me is always different, but the mall was always the same. And it was sort of an amalgamation of all the different shopping malls that we've sort of lived near in our lives. For some reason, 2 stories, and there was always one end of the mall that was like a department store that was empty and it was dark, always down there.
Yeah,
and,
that's sort of how this layout is in my dream.
Which is so weird.
There's always a big 2-floor store, like a Sears or whatever.
Yeah. And then the other one for me was, and I still have these fairly regularly, is I am back in high school, and it is a fucking strange, like Dream Warriors kind of Nightmare on Elm Street version of the high school that we went to.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, the layout of the school in the dream is always the same. And I have had this dream so frequently that I could draw a fucking map of it.
Huh.
Yeah. And the circumstance of the dream is always, I'm supposed to be in class, but I don't have a schedule and I don't know where to get a schedule. That's the dream. But the school is always the same, and it's weird. And it's not even remotely close to the layout of the school that we went to. But it is that school, you know, in concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, tell us what these dreams are all about. What the fuck? Trapped in the mall.
I love it. Yep. Can't seem to figure out where I'm supposed to be.
Nope.
But yeah. Dreams are weird, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dumb. They're real dumb.
Yep. Before we get rolling here, I'm gonna crack a can of crack a can of cool cheer wine.
Oh dear God. Where did you get cheer wine?
I had to order it.
You have to import that?
I had to order it.
From Czechoslovakia? Where did it come from?
It comes from North Carolina.
Same
which
thing.
may as well be Czechoslovakia. But
I've been there. Seems the same.
North Carolina. It's the land of some of our favorite movies.
That's true.
You know, Dino De Laurentiis made a whole shitload, made a film empire in the 1980s in North Carolina. Probably drank a lot of cheer wine while they were there.
I bet he didn't. He does not strike me as a cheer wine drinker. A regular wine drinker, on the other hand.
Yeah. Boy. So we practically grew up in a neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day. There's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. Dave's over there at that Queer Wolf. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, we have another show called 99 Cent Rental, where we cover all manner of video store madness in the weeks of Bring Me the Axes Off. Our latest episode covering Abel Ferrara's King of New York is out now, featuring a lot of bad Christopher Walken impressions.
Yeah. From you. I wouldn't even try it.
You don't even attempt it.
Nope.
It was my duty as a fucking podcast host to at least engage in the jokes. No. We'll be back next week with a look at the fucking made-for-TV nuclear war movie that horrified a nation the day after.
Gutenbergy.
And Jason Robards. John Lithgow, I think, is also in it.
He is indeed.
It's going to be a laugh riot, I'm sure. Don't forget to check out our current Bring the Axe bonus episode looking at 1986's Trick or Treat, dedicated to the memory of Ozzy Osbourne.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. I enjoyed that.
I loved that movie.
It was a great excuse to just watch Trick or Treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can also contact us directly at bringmethexpod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love, like to hear us give it the business. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there at patreon.com/bringmethexpod. Please do. And I'm going to tell you why. We make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's lots of hours, tons of hours.
Tons of content. So much content, you couldn't possibly listen to it in a month. I mean, you could in theory, but boy, that'd test your endurance.
If you're like, how much 1993, 94 history can I get for $5? The answer is a lot.
About 22 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. Subscribers at the $5 month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? It's about 50% X-Files, 50% 1993 and 1994 history.
Yeah, it's kind of like I Love the 90s, except instead of being really funny, it's all tragedy.
It's funny, but it's funny tragedy. It's you going mostly like, hey, remember when this happened? And then me going no, and then you go, oh yes, and then domestic terrorism and Nancy Kerrigan and Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Yeah, I like to. It's like a compliment sandwich. They hit you with this one terrible thing. I'm like, oh, Waco, and then I'm like, but Nancy Kerrigan got whacked in the knee.
Yep. And then
then Oklahoma City.
That hasn't happened yet, but it's on the fucking horizon.
It's coming.
Yep. Our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition is also up there, which is a bonus episode, which we explore a modern horror movie. Our current episode is a look at 2002's May with our friends Johnny and Tyler from That Spooky. Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Yes, they are gentle men.
Men of distinction, I would say. You know, real high quality guests. I love having those guys on. It's very funny. Mm-hmm. There's also my bi-weekly DJ show, Radio Free Haddonfield, on the weeks when Do You Think I'm Spooky is off. You can expect a surprising mixtape of everything from rock to disco to punk over there. We'll get the next one coming up this Thursday. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, we should go. You should do some electronica and just drill down tempo shit.
That's kind of the last one.
I know.
maybe in this one it'll just be just that song Sandstorm just over and over for an hour.
Oh, I was going to say just an hour of white noise.
Now that's what I call harsh noise. Yeah. So all Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option. Come on down, watch horror movies with us on a Friday night. We watch the movie that we'll be discussing on the following Monday. You know, we just watched Night of the Comet the other night. Well, we had a good time. A good time was had by all.
I didn't. I rewatched Sinners.
That's not a bad idea, though.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmethexpod. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'll be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So get to it. Do it.
I mean, if you don't know what to say, riddle me this. Is my beard too white? Is the ratio off at this point? That's what you can tell me in the comments.
They would need a visual reference.
No, that's true.
So you're going to have to go ahead and post a picture of yourself somewhere as much as you are.
Well, as I recently learned, I don't have any.
As you are loath to do so.
I did have to get photographed recently at the Staples, and that was a real treat.
Would you get no, you've already got a passport.
I do.
All right. If you listen on YouTube, do us a favor. Give the episode a like, leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Just want to get that all out of the way right at the top of the show because we got a fun one tonight.
Love this movie.
It's two 80s bangers back to back. And I started out not believing.
I told you.
And I came out the other side believing. So so here we go. Here's the trailer.
Did you ever wonder what it would be like to be one of the last people on Earth?
We're talking ghost town!
Who would you see?
There's nobody. I mean, there's nobody.
What would you do?
Hey, I'm sorry if the end of the world makes me a little nervous.
Where would you go?
The stars are open!
Well, get ready to find out, because the comet is coming into your orbit.
The legal drinking age is now 10, but you will need ID. Let's be real.
It's the night of the comet.
What do you give me if I come back?
Texas?
Night of the comet.
I'll be taking requests from all you teenage comet zombies.
The night the teenagers ruled the world.
Yeah!
Night of the comet.
The burden of civilization is on us.
Fiction, isn't it?
Woo!
Does that trailer not sell the hell out of that movie? That
It
is a
does.
trailer that
It's-
understands exactly who they're gunning for.
It's a little misleading.
I disagree.
It strikes a weird tone, I think.
It leaves out a very significant portion of the movie when things do turn a little dark, but in the lead up to it, this is a pretty lighthearted movie, which I think for a long time is why I was not super into this. Because I remember seeing this not long after it hit cable when we were like in New York for like a family thing. And I was like, oh shit, Night of the Comet. It's a horror movie. We get to see this. And I watched it, and it is in fact a horror movie, but it's not a terribly explicit one. And I think that has played a very large role in my sort of disappointment with this movie over the years. It's just, I was expecting something when I was like 10 years old and I didn't get it, and I was bummed about it. And so I've kind of, for reasons I don't fully understand until now, when I've like thought back on that, it has just sort of like lived in my memory as a movie that just did not live up to my expectations.
It is definitely lighthearted. I do think it has some kind of eerie moments, though.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Make no mistake.
I mean, it's all about teenagers. I mean, look, is it a good movie? Not really. It's like a bunch of
fine.
vignettes kind of squished together.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it is charming as hell, due almost entirely to the two stars of the film.
And 100%, I'm going to say that, but also I'm going to say that most of the heavy lifting is being done by Kelli Maroney, and I have never really thought about that. I think that she is the beating heart of this movie.
I love them both. I did appreciate her a lot more this watch, because I think she's actually doing a lot more acting than I'd kind of maybe given her credit for in the past.
Yeah, man, she's got range, and you wouldn't think so, because she's kind of supposed to be the vapid valley girl, but like she's the one who's emoting and really sort of tangling with the kind of reality of the situation that they find themselves in.
Yeah. You know what else occurred to me as I was watching it this time? This movie unfolds exactly like a modern RPG. Like it telegraphs each transition from the mountaintop, and it exposits in the loudest, clearest voice possible every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, we need to go to the mall now. That's where we'll find the guns that we need. And like you expect the little check mark to come up in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, and then you get an achievement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some real basic writing, but it's got some great lines.
It works. I fucking love the music in this.
I love some of the music in this. Some of it I find extremely intrusive.
I love just the score for the movie. It's It's all synth heavy. It is them sort of like stretching their dollar as far as it can possibly go. But the like licensed music in it is so 80s in a way that is so potently 1984 that it's a little weird, because like when I think of like pop music in 1984, like a list of of very particular artists comes to mind, and this music sounds like none of that shit. It all sounds like all of the songs that all fall below the 20 position on the fucking Billboard like top 40.
You know what it reminded me of? The soundtrack to Silent Night, Deadly Night, where like they hired someone,
Right.
or like Prom Night, where they just hire people to write music that sounds like pop music of the era. But it's like, if you're going to go to that extent, just get library music. You know, if you can't afford pop music, don't get shit that sounds like it. Then it's just
in
weird
such a
and
way
cheap.
that they try to fake you out with Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which was just ruling the fucking charts at the time. But it's not Cyndi Lauper. It's like a Cyndi Lauper sound-alike.
No.
Oh boy. Let's get into this.
Okay, because what a year.
Yeah, the year was 1984, year of our Lord. What a fucking year. Mm-hmm. So here were some
That's
other
the year the 80s became the 80s.
for sure, and we've gone deep on that, and basically all of the podcast episodes about the following movies that were released in 1984. A Nightmare on Elm Street came out that year.
At the same time. It's the same month.
Really?
This one.
This
yeah,
came
it was
out
a Christmas. It was a Thanksgiving movie.
This came out in November, yeah. So right, Friday the 13th, the final chapter came out that year. You know, we just did that one this past Friday the 13th. So, speaking of Silent Night, Deadly Night, that also came out in 1984. Yep, and as did Gremlins.
Wow.
Which was a Christmas movie that was released in the summer of 1984.
I feel like we're running out of 1984 movies.
I know. I looked up the list of like horror movies 1984 to sort of populate this list. It's shorter than you think.
That's it. You just named them all.
Yeah, pretty much. But however, I'm going to close it out with one that we haven't done and that I have not seen and that I feel like I absolutely have to see. Monster Dog.
I've never even heard of it.
This movie stars Alice Cooper.
Stars Alice Cooper.
Okay, he's on the poster. He's billed, but that
Okay, he's on the cover of Prince of Darkness.
That
and
could
he
mean,
has
I was
no
going to say,
dialogue.
that could mean a lot of things. But I think he actually plays like a significant role in this. I've never heard of it. This is Alice Cooper in 1984, like in the fucking in the lowest point of his life.
That's bad.
So this is him like showing up to the set with like a snake and a fucking guillotine, being like, "Hey, I'm really Alice Cooper," and then he drinks like 50 beers.
Oh man, Alice Cooper. Oh man.
Yeah, so that one went right on the watch list. I was like, I think I gotta watch Monster Dog. That looks crazy. It may not be a man's best friend, but what is?
Is it on Tubi?
I haven't checked, but it's gotta be. Let's take a second to look.
If not, I bet you can get it from Vinegar Syndrome. It sounds like trash. That's what I'm getting at.
Monster Dog.
What's it called? It's called Monster Dog?
Monster Dog. Not on Tubi.
Monster Dog.
Fucking disappointing.
Oh no, you are not going to be finding that anywhere. That sounds like a YouTube.
That looks
It's
like a
also
movie
Spanish.
that Alice Cooper in his sort of like latter days was like, oh shit, that's right, I was in that movie that I'd completely forgotten about, and he's gone to great lengths to bury it. Like like he's devoted a significant portion of his fortune to this.
Oh yeah, no, it's Claudio Fragasso. Oh. So enjoy.
How do you go even?
That's peak Fragasso.
How do you get even worse than Bruno Mattei? You get a Fragasso movie.
Yep.
Oh shit! Listener, if you don't know, Claudio Fragasso directed Troll 2,
and a handful of other things you've definitely never heard of.
No, with his buddy doing music, Al Festa, who would eventually get to do his own movie, direct his own movie. He directs Fatal Frames in, I think, 1994, which is a giallo that was made entirely to showcase the musical and acting talents of his girlfriend, Stefania, I think is her name, and she is the worst in
Nice.
every respect. We'll have to do it at some point. I think we had it scheduled at one time, but that movie is fucking unbelievably weird.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's like 90 minutes of people, all the other characters telling this one woman what a great actor and singer she is, and she is neither of those things.
No.
So our director is a guy named Thom Eberhardt. And he sounds like an okay guy.
Yeah. I mean, not a terribly talented director, not like a overly talented. I mean, he's adequate.
He's capable.
Yeah. He made, I think he probably had more success maybe as a writer.
I think
which
that
is kind of weird.
He did a lot of stuff for public television.
Yes, that's where he starts.
And none of that stuff is listed in his IMDb, but he did.
No, you can see it though in this movie because I think this is his first movie.
No, Soul Survivor is his
Oh,
first
that's
movie,
right, Soul
which was
Survivor,
which I think was produced. It says it was released in 1984, and it certainly was. That's objectively true. But the production of that movie looks like it was made in like 1980 or something.
That feels high 70s.
It's got a weird sort of old look to it because this movie, which was released only months after Soul Survivor came out, is very 1984.
It also has like Soul Survivor has like a kind of parallax view, kind of paranoia about it.
Yeah. It's the original.
Which feels
it's
very
the
70s.
Yeah, if you have not seen it, Soul Survivor is kind of the original Final Destination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He goes on to write Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which is the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, famously written by Stewart Gordon and Bryan Usna.
Mm-hmm.
And then he directs Martin Short and Kurt Russell and Captain Ron, which is a much better movie than you probably think it is.
You have been championing Captain Ron for a while now. Look,
First of all, Martin Short.
I love both of them.
Second of all, Kurt Russell.
I mean, I think I saw it in the theater.
It's a fucking funny movie, man.
Is that from 1994? That seems like a 1994
I think
movie.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he directed the pilot of Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Oh.
Yeah, which I think we've talked about on the X-Files show.
We have.
Yeah. However, this movie is probably his best known project. By a significant margin.
Which is weird, because this movie is cheap as hell.
It was, oh my God. It looks at it at times, but it's also very quaint in that regard.
They do a lot with the budget they have, but it really looks like they were like, here's $10, make a movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk about the budget in a minute. It may as well have been $10. Our cast includes Catherine Mary Stewart, who we last saw just singing and dancing her heart out in Nahum Golan's absolutely atrocious musical, The Apple.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot she's in Weekend at Bernie's too.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah. Here she looks and plays significantly younger than the previous movie, which was released a full 4 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know her from Night of the Comet, Weekend at Bernie's, or 150 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
She was also in Dudes.
Ah, that's right. Who did that? Is that another fucking
I
Penelope
think it's
Spheres
Penelope
movie?
Spheres.
Yeah, we were just talking shit about her in the Trick or Treat episode.
Well, she had it coming.
Yep, she killed Darby Crash.
Yep.
She's having quite a 1984 between this movie and The Last Starfighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And weirdly, not much after. Like she goes on to do some stuff, but I think she's pretty good. I think she's a good actor.
I think she's fantastic.
And I actually think that both of them are very good. And it's a shame that neither of them really, it didn't really happen for them like it should have.
It's weird. I think that both of them made the mistake of getting into the sort of guest starring game. Because they both do a lot of like, you know, they show up in like an episode of Simon and Simon or like the A-Team or something like that. And
once you're on Love Boat, you're never getting off.
I'm going to say it kind of feels like because because just the budget limitations of these movies, like a lot of the cast of the movies that we cover sort of end up in that respect. And then they make a pretty healthy career out of it. But some of them, it kind of feels like it's a career dead end to go in that direction.
I mean, they do. They also both kind of start out doing a lot of genre movies, which can go either way, I guess.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of, here's Kelli Maroney, who like I said, I think she is the fucking center of this movie. She's coming into this after appearing as Cindy Carr, the put upon cheerleader of Ridgemont High in Fast Times. And she acted in 319 of the 3,500 episodes of a soap I've never heard of called Ryan's Hope.
Mm-hmm.
That ran until like 1989.
Yeah, you gotta up your soap game.
Yeah, you'd heard of this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe maybe I'm just a fucking poser. I know your Guiding Lights, your Days of Our Lives, your General
Your
Hospitals,
Dazes, your General's Hospital.
Dazes of Your Lives. Days of Our Lives was mine. Was my personal soap.
I can't say I watched any of them other than Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Which
Dark
I have watched
Shadows
all
really
of.
a soap opera though?
Oh yes, 100%. It is extremely melodramatic.
Yeah. Yeah. When we lived in Florida, I swear to God, I watched Days of Our Lives with Nace like daily.
No, I mean, weird choice.
It was a hell of an arc. There was some mind control going on. It was wild. It was good times.
That's why you ought to get into Dark Shadows. I mean, they literally travel back in time multiple times.
Yep. There's also something that I've never heard of called Slayground.
Is it new?
No, it was released right before this movie
That she was in?
that she was in.
Never heard of it.
Gonna have to dig it up. Either that or just wait for Vinegar Syndrome to put it out.
Yeah, except, well, not anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't released in the 90s. So you loved her in this movie. You probably also loved her in Chopping Mall.
Yeah, I do.
Fucking A.
I love Chopping Mall.
Just to land. I mean, even if her career kind of stalls, I mean, she's still acting. She's still out there. She's still doing her thing. She's probably making bank at all the conventions that she goes to. But yeah, to be in this movie and that movie, it's a rare occasion that you get to be in two big cult movies.
That's true.
Yep.
A fucking Jim Wynorski movie.
Right.
Yuck.
Her part in this movie is a stated inspiration for the movie version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can actually see Catherine Mary Stewart more. I feel like she's not getting enough cred here.
I think it's mostly just because I have a preference for the Samantha character. But
I get it.
I mean, that's not to say that the Reggie character is shitty or something. Rounding out our cast, we got Robert Beltran, who previously appeared with Mary Warnov in Paul Bartel's Eating Raoul as the eponymous Raoul. And he goes on to appear in Bartel's Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills.
You ever seen Eating Raoul?
No.
It's a fucking weird movie.
I read about it, and the premise seems extremely Paul Bartel. Yeah.
I do love Paul Bartel, though.
As do I. Yep. This guy is ostensibly best known for playing Commander Chakotay in Star Trek Voyager. He's done a ton. This was surprising to me. He has done a ton of like productions of Shakespeare.
He's also in the Calendar Girl Murders. It's a TV movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a good one. It's a bad TV movie. You know who put it out?
Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
Relevant to this movie, Robert Beltran is the guy who brought Mary Warnoff to the project since he'd just done Eating Raoul with her.
And she'll never forgive him for it.
Speaking of Mary Warnoff, when you mentioned this to me, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I looked it up. What is her problem, man?
I don't know. Look, I love Mary Warnoff. So for those who don't know who she is, you've seen her in a bunch of shit. She was like an original. She was a model for a while originally.
Yeah, she was one of
Andy Warhol's
Warhol,
factory.
She hung around with like Lou Reed.
She's in like a bunch of weird indie movies.
She's in Death Race 2000.
She's in Death Race 2000. She's in
the Suicidal Tendencies video.
She is in the Suicidal Tendencies video. She's in, I think it's called Sugar Cookies.
Yep.
A really bizarre kind of arty horror-ish crime movie. She's in a ton of shit. And she's in a fuckload of movies with Paul Bartel. They've been in like he's put her in a lot of his movies. They've been in movies together. She's in Chopping Mall with him.
She's in a bunch of movies that we've done, like a Death Race 2000. She's in Get Crazy.
Yep. And I love her. Like she's a stunning looking woman. She's so interesting looking and very commanding. She has a presence and an attitude. Yeah. And when you read interviews with her, she comes off like the biggest bitch. Like she hates everybody and everything she's ever done.
Nothing but shitty things to say about this movie. I could not find the outlet, but I found the quote. And it was like, they were like, hey, what do you think of this Night of the Comet? Like, it's a staying power cult movie. And she's like, fuck no. It's like, it's all about like teenagers. And it was all like about 1984 and it's 1986 now. And nobody gives a shit about that. And it's like, well, hey, bad news, Mary. This movie was a cult movie almost right out of the fucking gate.
But also, so there's I can't remember where I heard, like, might have been Anthony Hudson said something about this. like a panel that she was on, and someone asked her about like, what's your relationship like with Paul Bartel? You've done so many things. You guys seem like you're really close. And she's like, oh no, I don't even really like him. And it's like, they were like, but you've been in like 15 of his movies and like his like plays and all his productions. She's like, yeah, we're not close though. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? At least fake it a little bit.
I know. Good God.
She just sounds like the most miserable bitch. And I'm like, God, you seem so awesome. Why are you such an asshole?
I was equally as disappointed because until now, I never really looked into her.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I mean, I'm still a big fan, but it definitely hurts the heart.
It doesn't change my opinion of the movies that she's in, or like my opinion of when I see her. But like when I think about it, it's like, what is your fucking beef?
Yeah, maybe that's just like that's her persona, I guess.
Maybe. So we got a couple of taglines here.
I just found the one. I couldn't find any.
I've got two. Okay. Yeah, one is on was on like a drive-in bill.
Okay.
So there's this one. It was the last thing on earth they ever expected.
It's too menacing. You need to go upward inflection at the end.
It was the last thing on earth they ever expected?
Nah, not so much of a question, but you were pretty much there.
Speaking of which, though, the poster for this movie fucking rules.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
They've all been great.
There was only a couple that I could kind of consistently find. There was the one where everybody's looking at the sky and they're like, their eyes are shining. Mm-hmm. That poster has always stuck with me. It really makes an impression. The other one that I could find consistently was of the cop zombie up close.
I think is that the Gary Pullen one? He did one.
I believe so, because I did not
years ago. That's awesome.
I did not start seeing that one until recently, so I think that is the Gary Pullen one.
I think that's the Arrow release. I love that design though. It's really cool.
So cool. It's so fucking cool. And here's the other one. Halley's Comet is coming into your orbit. I don't. So this was a thing that I noticed like immediately. So Halley's Comet returned to Earth in 1986.
Yeah, I had to look that one up too because I was like, this feels
and I
very
remember
specific.
it was the fucking craze. Like I recall this very, very strongly. Yeah. But as we were watching this, I was like, there were a lot of movies within the 3 years around the Halley's Comet return that capitalized on the Earth getting caught in a comet's tail.
So I was wondering about this
because there's Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, that's the other one.
And Life Force is there's a spaceship hidden in the comet's tail, but they were also capitalizing on this.
Yeah, and I wonder because space and technology is sort of outside of my domain expertise, as it were, and I don't know much about it, but it feels like I think Reagan's administration really pushed like a lot of funding to NASA. As sort of like the space race, as sort of part of like the try to keep the Cold War going a little bit.
There was a lot of excitement around the shuttle program, but also
and then there wasn't.
I know but the sort of there's always a sort of covert reason behind what we're doing with rockets and spacecraft. Like the entire space race was not exactly a race to get to the moon. It was to see which
to kill a teacher from New Hampshire.
Exactly. These motherfuckers. It's a guy. It goes all the way to the top. No, that one was they were trying to see which nation could build an ICBM first, really, so that you didn't have to fly bombers over Moscow. We could just nuke them from Wyoming
or whoever. It doesn't have to be Moscow these days. It could be handy in a number of situations.
Yeah, in the 80s, it was all about putting satellites in orbit, and we were developing spy satellite technology like really, really quickly. And then there was also the SDI initiative. And so we needed something to put those like laser satellites in space somehow. I mean, it never happened, but that was really sort of like what the driving push behind.
Right. This is all sort of a way to say like there was a lot of shit to cover up so the public didn't ask questions. So they kind of like, this is my theory anyway. They kind of like pumped up this enthusiasm for space and comets and naming shit and like all the discovery. And that's kind of the thing. But it's just a fairly, I guess, common trope. in
yeah,
sci-fi.
yeah. And so I was like, I wanted to know like why there was this paranoia, like so specific. I mean, it seems obvious on the surface, like what would happen if the Earth passed through the tail of a comet.
Yeah, I mean, this is
And
just
it
a
turns out that
post-apocalyptic movie.
Yeah, but it turns out that actually did happen in 1910.
Oh.
And everybody and all of the sort of scientists of the era of 1910 scientists were like, well, there's a lot of there's a lot of crazy shit like flying around in the tail.
Get
of a
under
comet.
your desk, children.
And they were like, there could be there could be bad outcome of that. We could be essentially showered in like hazardous dust, and then most of it just burned off in the atmosphere because the tail that we passed through was so diffuse. But I think it leads me to think that in these few years, as everybody was getting ready for Halley's Comet, it started to kind of come back to be like, oh shit, what would happen? But instead, like what we get out of this movie is essentially like a $700,000 episode of The Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. But like a later Twilight Zone, like not a real good one, but like kind of like it's petering out a little bit.
When they were using
like when the show went to an hour, it was like that
studio video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Eberhardt's original premise for this movie, when he pitched it to Atlantic Releasing, was a sort of light adventure taking place in a setting like the Omega Man. Mm-hmm. And he'd been directing projects for, like we said, PBS. Asked some teenage girls on the sets of those projects what they would do if they woke up one day and found the world all emptied out, without mentioning the zombies, of course. And the story of Night of the Comet kind of came to him because they were all like, well, we'd go to all the fucking shopping malls and we'd, take all the clothes and we'd, fucking dance around and shit.
All right. So I'm going to hit you with my take now, because this is sort of, they're very much related. I think that in doing that, in talking to these young people about what they would do, that lends this movie a lot of authenticity.
Yeah.
That does a lot of work for the movie. But here's why I love this movie so much. So we are in peak Final Girl years. Like 1984, we've got Nancy Thompson. We've got whoever the fuck, third Friday the 13th or whatever. That's a firmly established trope basically at this point. And even Nancy Thompson, who is, I think, quintessential Final Girl. We can all agree.
Yeah, she sets traps and shit.
Yeah, like she becomes a badass. But she is a person who is sort of reluctantly pushed to defend themselves. She takes it up maybe a lot with a lot more gusto than maybe some other people have in other movies. But she doesn't start out that way. She sort of she finds her inner Final Girl, if you will. I love this movie because Reg is almost the anti-Final Girl. Like she's like a badass from the start. She's Ellen Ripley for the Valley Girl set.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So she doesn't need a man. She's just like almost not even really interested. She is a little bit in a way that this movie's written by a man, but like she shows herself as equally, if not more capable than all the men in the movie.
This movie, written by men, very nearly passes the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
It gets super close.
Falls on its face a bunch of times.
Especially at the end.
Yeah. But I love that there is this character. This is an entire cast full of people. This is a pretty big cast. And despite the fact that it's really a movie about 2 people, 3, I guess. But like, it's always the women who are consistently doing the right thing, who are empowered, who are sort of taking it upon themselves. Like we start out the movie where Reg is sort of sexually liberated and autonomous. And she's kind of in control
She has
of
terrible taste in dudes, though.
She does. But hey, who among us? But she has this awesome character who, she's good with guns. Like she is coded in a lot of ways that I guess you could read as masculine, but I think in probably any other circumstance, she would also be coded as a lesbian. She loves video games. She's riding a motorcycle. She's firing guns.
If this were anybody, she'd be Vasquez, not Ripley.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100% that. And I think that is why the ending of this movie feels like such a huge slap in the face, not just to the audience, but to the character and to the legacy of this movie. Because this is a totally self-sufficient female protagonist that I think men and women could look up to. And then at the end, for reasons that are completely inexplicable, it undermines everything that it has built in this terrible coda
Yeah.
that is completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Actually feels like
I
an
don't think we mentioned
intentional.
it up to this point. The ending of this movie fucking sucks.
It's the worst ending I've ever seen, literally, to any movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like they've set this awesome character up who we can all look at and be like, she fucking rules. I would love to be her friend, or I would love to be her. In my case, both. And at the very end, it feels like this is intentionally tacked on as a way to sort of remind girls and women what their priorities should really be.
Yep.
Like, don't get too big for your britches here. Don't
Don't be getting so uppity, ladies.
Yeah, it's a lot like when women had, like when the World War II and like A League of Their Own. Women are playing baseball, and all of a sudden they're very popular. Women are running the economy, and they're very good at it. And then men come back and they're like, blah, 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 blah. That's real cute of you, but I think it's time for you to go home now. The men are back, and we can take over. It's like, God damn it, I hate this fucking country so much.
It's not necessarily just this country, though. That is fairly global attitude.
I know, but it is such a slap in the face. Like, I fucking hate the ending of this movie so much. It is so offensive to me.
I texted you and I was like, why does it end that way? Like, I don't understand why they fucking did that. They could have done anything. They could have just ended it right there as they drive off after basically killing the scientists.
Yeah, and I have more thoughts on the ending, so we'll talk about it later. But
right.
because we're setting it up a little too much now. It feels, and I wonder too if it's apparently Eberhardt had a lot of problems with the producers. He said that they were really, really hard to work with. They were kind of snotty to him. They didn't seem to get what he wanted to do.
My next bunch of notes are kind of about how he had an idea and they had an idea, and since they were putting up the money, he kind of was beholden to them.
Right, but they were like super resentful of having to do this work with him at all. And so, but it sounds like he's very generous when he's like, I couldn't have done this without them. They were very good at their jobs. They just didn't seem to understand what it was I was trying to do, and they thought it was stupid. And it was like, well, that fucking sucks.
Then why put money at it? That's always my question.
They were assigned to it. It sounds like by the studio.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but it was like, what a shit. Like, even if you don't love the thing that you're doing, take a fucking cue from Vincent Price and make the best of it.
Right.
There's fun to be had in any of these situations. You're making fucking movies, for God's sake, and a horror movie at that. Like, have some fun.
Yeah, the company that put this out was a company called Atlantic Releasing Company, or Corporation, I think, who also produced Valley Girl, which was released the year prior. And they wanted
this is horror Valley Girl. It's the only reason it got made.
They wanted to keep the momentum going by adding Valley Girl elements to this movie. Valley Girl, though not a massive hit for 1983, had a big pop cultural impact due mostly to Elizabeth Daly's kind of Valleyisms in it.
It's not a good movie.
Not really. The for sure gag me with a spoon type shit. But its soundtrack was massively fucking popular. Like The Crow 1994 popular. Yeah.
But that was what you went with, huh?
Yeah, because it's the first one that comes to that. I was like, absolutely fucking everybody had a copy of that shit.
Cocktail.
Right. Okay. Could be everybody loved Kokomo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cocktail.
They also wanted to include elements from Repo Man, which was released earlier in
which is an odd choice.
I know, but you know what? You can see them in the movie.
Yeah, you can.
And they work. But also that indicates that this movie, because I think Repo Man came out in March or April, meaning they put this fucking movie together in like a couple of months.
No, they scrambled to get this done because they wanted it out for Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving is the biggest movie day.
That's right.
Or at least historically it was, but I don't know if that's still true.
Yep. It was produced on a budget of about $700,000, which even by 1984 standards is fucking low.
Yeah, and it made it back like tenfold.
To about 20 times. It made about $14.5 million during its theatrical run before it hit video and cable, which surprised the shit out of everybody. A key factor in that success was gunning for a more accessible PG-13 rating, which afforded Eberhardt a little more violence and TNA that teenagers could take in without having to be accompanied by a parent. I was interested in the PG-13 angle because usually when you're making a horror movie, that's kind of the kiss of death, right? When you don't get that R rating.
I think it is now. I don't know if that was always true.
No, but
I think post slashers.
So I looked this up because I've always been sort of interested about this kind of moment when they established the PG-13 rating. It was established in May of 1984, and in 1984 alone, it resulted in 30 PG-13 movies by the end of the year. 30 movies in 7 months. However,
Red Dawn
comes out in August, meaning that between August and December of 1984, 30 goddamn movies were released with that rating.
They probably retroactively applied that, though, to a lot of them.
I could see that. Also,
I can't imagine
the list.
They would debate 30 movies, watch and debate 30 movies in 3 months.
I saw the list of those movies, and some of them I'd never even heard of before. Yeah. But the whole thing with PG-13, I believe we talk about it in our Poltergeist episode, like more deeply, but the gist, and you all fucking know, you grew up with this shit. But in the 80s, the PG-13 allowed for a few instances of the F word, a lot more graphic violence than the PG rating, and even a couple of instances of nudity you could get away with.
Yeah. That's because before that, you had PG movies that you saw things like a child getting eaten by a shark in one of what is still one of the most graphically violent things I've ever seen in an animal movie.
Yeah, there is what is it? There's nudity in 16 Candles, which is a PG rated movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was R.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that works in their favor for this movie with regard to the rating system is that this is first and foremost a teen movie.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons it's so successful and one of the reasons it works very well is that Eberhardt understood what he was doing. He understood this has to be about teenagers. It has to be in their language and in their aesthetic. Like it has to be presented in this way. And despite having very, very little money, I think he is extremely successful in that. And I think that this guy John, I think it's Muto, did the production design, and he hasn't done a lot of other stuff. I mean, he's done production design, but not as the production designer. And I think he does a great job with this movie.
He did something that I thought was really interesting in that it's all in the way that the girls are dressed versus everybody else in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like how all of the bad guys are sort of like dressed in these like really drab jumpsuits, and
they're all red shirts. Like none of these people are staying alive.
And they're almost entirely like shot in darkness. But the girls all wear like bright colors, and yeah, it's great. That and everything.
Yeah, I think it's very thoughtful, and there's that attention to those details are what makes this movie so successful. And I think that's why it ended up being a box office success to the extent that it is. Because of that, they actually took the time, and he knew what he was doing, and I think that it's testament.
Kids can smell a fake a mile away, and so when it feels patronizing or it feels like an adult is very much an adult is writing this movie about teenagers, it feels that way immediately. And kids are not stupid; they can detect that shit in a second. This has an authenticity about it.
Well, it's just like we watched, we were talking about it with
Trick or Treat.
God, what? Yeah, Trick or Treat, where it's like, this movie, Trick or Treat is dumb as hell. It's a real stupid movie. It's not very well written, but there is an authenticity to it where you're like, whoever made this movie or whoever was involved, like at certain stages, understood what the actual characters would have been feeling. They understood what it was like to be in that position. And that's why it hits the way that it does. Yeah. Same with this. I think the same with Chopping Mall, too. I mean, Jim Wynorski makes fucking pornography. Like, that's, I don't want to rag on pornography, but, like, it's not the same thing. And, like, he was like, I have to pay attention to this.
But even his, like, mainstream stuff is, like, sleazy in a Jim Wynorski way, you know?
Yeah. But, like, you can tell the difference between someone who may not have a lot of money, but there's a lot of heart to it, and there's an authenticity to it, versus a Blumhouse movie.
Oh, yeah.
Something that they're just fucking cranking this shit out, like whatever the 8th Conjuring movie is. It's like, we're getting a little tired of this one, buddy.
Yeah. Another Megan movie.
Yep.
Another Mithrigan movie.
I didn't even want the first one.
So yeah, before we get into like what the press reactions, this movie was released on CED video disc, which is an extinct media format that
and it is bizarre.
I absolutely love. It was invented in the mid-1960s, but it didn't arrive in a consumer device until 1985, just in time to be eclipsed by Laserdisc.
It is clunky and giant.
The video disc encoded about an hour of audio and video to one side of a vinyl record that was read by a stylus, similar to a record player. They cost less than a VCR in 1983. Do you know how much a fucking a VCR cost back then?
In 83?
In $1983. It was like
I'm going to guess $700.
$700.
I mean, remember, the actual VHS tapes until like 1998 cost $90.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they cost less. They cost about half of what a VCR in 83 cost. But the media had no rental support, and it cost similar to what a videotape cost to own back then.
Also, just go to the fucking movies and then and watch whatever's on TV.
Yeah, they
just
also
do what I do now.
They also required you to flip the disc like a record when watching it, and you had to replace the stylus more often than you would for a regular record
to
player.
be fair, a laser disc also would often require you to flip the disc.
Yeah. We had a laser disc player when I was living in Florida, and for the most part, back then you had to flip them, but eventually they got to like double-sided readers and shit like that. But yeah. Yeah. And the picture was like, the picture and sound were like equivalent to a VCR.
It's just, you got to do a lot more leg work.
You got to get up.
You really got to want it.
Yeah. So, where'd the press land on this movie?
Well, it's interesting. So I'm going to reach out first one, and then I've got a comment about that first one.
Okay.
This is J. Carr, Boston Globe. For a film that thinks it's superior to consumerism, Night of the Comet behaves like a consumer itself, obsessed with what it should wear. Supposedly about comet zombies, it's a zombie itself, lurching stiff-leggedly towards a climax that's supposed to recast American Gothic with the latest version of the post-nuclear family. Now listen, J. Carr, he didn't hate it, he didn't like it, he thought it was whatever, it was fine. I only included that one because there were a bunch of reviews that were like, oh, it's a critique about consumerism, and people seem to take it really personally.
Weird. And these are contemporary reviews.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're like, what the fuck? I like my consumerism. I want my MTV. Where's the beef?
And it's so weird because it's like, this movie, I mean, I think he takes a swing at some kind of analysis. It doesn't work that well.
No, it's a blunt instrument.
But also, you can participate in something and be critical of it. Like, we all participate in capitalism. Most of us fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so weird that they were like, how dare you?
I know.
Ronald Reagan made that.
I know. We should improve things a bit. And yet you participate in capitalism. Interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. So, I just thought that was kind of...
Yeah.
Anyway, Kevin Thomas, Los Angeles Times.
I love it. I love my Kevin Thomas.
I do too. Thanks to budget limitations, Night of the Comet's plot doesn't develop with anything near total credibility. But it's not the plot that matters to writer-director Thom Eberhardt, who has fun with the doomsday sci-fi genre while taking his people seriously. It is filmmaking at its most resourceful. I like that one because I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
He knows he can't afford to do big shit. He can't do a lot of special effects, so he focuses on his two stars, and he knows exactly who they are. And I think as a result, so do they.
And he photographs their hair very well.
He does, and their hair is just a big, majestic lion's mane. It's beautiful. Anyway, not everybody liked it. The stuffy stiffs at Newsday, which is where I go for the news. Publicity for Night of the Comet says it was inspired by a conversation writer-director Thom Eberhardt had over lunch with three 12-year-old actors in 1978 when he was directing after-school specials for PBS. It's no wonder that his movie for 12-year-olds has the look and sound of something cooked up over hamburgers. It is entertainment junk food gift wrap as a sci-fi spoof about a mysterious comet that arrives one night during the Christmas season. It's like, man, get a fucking sense of humor.
Lighten up.
Wait, don't be so Warnovian about it. And finally, this might come as a surprise to you. Pardon the plea for sympathy, but what could be more depressing than to spend Thanksgiving morning in a movie theater with 5 other adult males watching a teenage girl terrorized for 90 minutes by a phantom with molten face and knives for fingers? Much more entertaining is Thom Eberhardt's Night of the Comet, a science fiction comedy with a punk veneer that's a refreshing antidote to such well-intentioned doomsday entertainments as The Day After.
Is this Gene Genie?
That's the Gene Genie himself. I love that he uses one review to take a dig at another movie.
What a petty bitch.
Yep.
God
He's
bless
a
him.
real
God
sack
bless
of
him.
crap.
That is a rare dedication to the bit.
I mean, but yeah, Gene Siskel actually very much liked this movie.
That's-
I believe
that's
Roger
right.
Ebert did too.
The thing is by contrast of like R-rated slashers that
I know, he just said it.
that he made. I mean, like Night of the Living Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, notwithstanding, like this movie is just not like those movies at all. Like it's not a fucking slasher movie. It's not a movie where like a male killer is going to spend a couple of hours like chasing women around. It's an entirely different kind of thing. Also, the fact that the women in this movie who can kind of handle themselves and hold their own must have really appealed to his sensibilities.
Whatever gross sensibilities he has.
I know.
Well, and finally, sadly, there has been a remake in the works for some time.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's one of those movies. I think that when a movie goes into development and ends up there for like fucking like 3 or 4 years, I think
it's even longer than that. I think it's like 8 years.
I think it's been in development since 2018. That shit's never coming out.
No, which is good. We don't need it.
Yeah. But yeah. Shall we?
Please do.
Here we go. We open on a shot of space. A foreboding voiceover explains that a comet called the Visitor is returning. The planet's orbit will pass through the comet's tail a couple of weeks before Christmas. And then there's an ominous shot of some shadowy people wearing jumpsuits in a shadowy room, which coincides with a comment that suggests that some people are expecting this occasion to be more significant. But most people just want to party.
Oh, and boy, do they ever.
Yeah. The whole world is celebrating.
Oh, that's the Final Romance. This song is a fucking jam.
It's so good, man. It's so
Love it.
good.
And then I thought to myself, so they're all out in the streets. All these people, they're all partying. They're having a great time. They can't wait to see the comet. And I thought, when was the last time people came out in droves together like this? January 6th?
Yeah, they don't do this shit in Times Square anymore.
You don't see this anymore.
No.
I mean, I don't know if you ever really
I think, you know
did.
what it was?
Like, I don't
It was,
remember
it
this.
was, no, I don't know. Cause like, I don't think it was ever really like this, but
We grew up in the
because
suburbs. It was never like this.
All of the crowd footage that they use is just like stock footage of New Year's Eve in Times Square. But
Well, yeah, there's the stuff with like the acts, like in the whatever sort of subdivision they live in. That's
Yeah.
all shot on probably a set.
Right. But I do seem to remember, like, you were probably too little to remember, but like Halloween in Marblehead was like when you see like a movie where like the whole town is celebrating, like in fucking Hocus Pocus and shit. It was really like that, like where the whole town came out. It was like a whole thing, and there was like a whole downtown scene, and they did the same shit around Christmas too, where there was like a fucking parade and like everybody came out to kind of like hang out in the streets and party and shit. It was
Like they do Somerville, Massachusetts. Any excuse to do this. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
It could be St. Swithin's Day, and they would all be out there having a fucking party. They would shut the streets down.
Is it St. Swithin's Day already?
All right, I'll go.
But most people, like I said, just want to party. Cut to the crowded streets as people gather to watch the comet. And then we cut to a busy movie theater that's running a special comet double feature. The theater owner is selling space antenna headbands, while theater usher Reggie is busily playing the shit out of Tempest.
I like how, so this is a guy, his name is Stanley Brock. He's a very recognizable character actor from the 70s and 80s.
As soon as he was on the screen, I was like, oh, it's that guy. He's another that guy.
Yeah, he looks he's like a little bit, like kind of like a bottom shelf Peter Boyle almost.
Yeah.
I like how enterprising he is in this though. Like he's selling these cheap ass fucking headbands for $9.
Because he's got the one that has it just has the balls on the springs, and then he's got the one that has the little the fringe
The tassels. Yeah, and he's trying to get the other guy to blow on it so he can see. He's like, yeah, it's $9.50.
Yeah. Oh boy. All is going well until she notices that someone whose initials are DMK has unseated her 6th place high score. And
So DMK, he apparently said that throughout the entire filming of this movie, everybody was like, wait, who is DMK? And he was like, it's fucking nobody. I just needed another bunch of initials. That was what came into my head. And so he had to create something to satisfy everybody.
Yeah. And also there's
Pin in that will explain
apparently everybody was like really invested in a lot of this movie because there is a scene about 2/3 of the way through that he had to revise because everybody was like, well, no, it can't be like that. You have to, you can't let it end like that. So,
oh yeah, I'm glad it didn't end like that.
Yeah. But we'll get there when we get there. So then she goes up, Reggie, that is, goes to the projection booth where the
well, so he's trying to. I want to stop because Mel says something that's really interesting because he's like, go get in there and walk the theater, and she's like, I don't want to do these fucking people, and I'm like, I get it, girl.
they're gonna throw dots at me. Have you ever been hit by dots? It's like, yeah, them shits is hard.
I haven't, but they're delicious. I can't eat them anymore because I got no teeth left. Out. Yeah. But he says, I don't want those weirdos cutting up the seats. Is that a thing people used to do in movie theaters?
Maybe it's that. It's like they go into the theaters and they cut up the seats and then the kids karate the picket fences.
Karateing all the picket fences in town.
Yeah. So, yeah, she goes up to the projection booth where the projectionist is just wheeling and dealing to rent out some 35 millimeter prints.
Yeah, he's real scummy.
He's such a dirtbag. Reggie walks in, wanted to know who DMK is. They're going to spend the night in the projection booth to knock boots. We'll wait for this dude to bring back one set of movie reels.
And then he's like, I'll give you $15. And there's like this weird moment where she's like, wait a minminute.
Right.
But he means for like hanging out, like waiting for the guy.
You hang here while I go to the door is what it is. But yeah. Yep.
It's a cute exchange.
Elsewhere in Los Angeles, Reggie's sister reclines on the couch in her fanciest aerobics outfit. While the adults just party around her.
I also love at one point when she gets up after the phone rings or whatever, she rolls over the back of the couch.
Right. And she is dressed like
I feel like that's something I would have done. It's something I would probably still do.
I've most certainly done that in the past. Yeah. The phone rings and it's Reggie and she wants her little sister Samantha to cover for her while she spends the night with her scumbag boyfriend. Now, their mother is busy flirting with the neighbor, but takes the phone and all, but it calls her daughter a slut, essentially.
That's her stepmother.
Oh, is it her stepmother?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was her mother, but yeah, they do keep calling her by her first name.
Yeah, Doris.
Doris, yeah. She's a real shitbag who's busily cheating on her CIA husband who's currently out of the country, thwarting communism in Nicaragua by delivering arms to the Contras.
Yeah, they will make a couple references to him being in South America. And I was like, that's the most 80s thing about this whole movie.
That is so fucking topical. Also, Central America. Come on now.
Sorry, yeah.
Samantha.
Well, no, at one point, I believe someone says something about Honduras.
Okay. What is this?
I'm pretty sure that's
she's
South
like, when
America.
he gets back from Banana Land, I'm like, oh,
yes, Jesus.
Samantha gets into it with her mother about the cheating and they slap each other, ending in her mother punching Samantha in the face.
It's wild.
Bums me out every time.
Apparently, like, they were doing it over and over, and she has to, like, Doris, the woman playing Doris, has to slap her, and she was like, she couldn't do it in a way where Kelli Maroney was reacting properly.
She's pulling her punches, essentially.
Yeah, she's like, just actually do it, and so we can get this so we can move on, because otherwise we're wasting time.
Yeah, she's like, and hit me, don't worry about it. We used to do it on Ryan's Hope all the time.
Ryan's Hope. And so, yeah, but then she punches her, and it's like, I think it's played for laughs a little bit, but the look on her face afterwards is not played for laughs.
No,
it's very strange.
Bummer. And I remember when I first saw this, like, being really upset by that scene.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this lady doing?
Yeah. So it's kind of an odd, and there's a couple moments like that where, like, you get the feeling they maybe wanted to lean in a little bit more to those serious moments. They just either didn't have time or didn't have the money or whatever, or like it just didn't fit or whatever. But like,
to its credit, given where the movie kind of goes, that would have resulted in the same sort of tonal clashes that Trick or Treat has.
Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily work out that well, but I think a little bit more would have gone a long way.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you where it is that they come up more. But.
Yeah. So outside, the sky starts flashing, and then everybody turns to watch the fireworks. Sam's mother is overcome with some pain. Reggie.
Oh, but then she's all over the neighbor guy, and she's like, I'll never marry another man with kids, which I just think is a great line. There's a lot of really good, like, one-liners in this.
Yeah. Reggie and Larry have a weird conversation about Superman, watching them fuck through the walls of the projection booth.
Well, okay, this is our exposition moment because this is how come Larry and Reg don't end up getting kind of zooped by the comet.
Yeah.
They're explaining it in this. It's a clever way of introducing this, why they're not going to be
because that is
abductors.
a humongous question mark throughout the whole movie. Is like, why are some people just outright dusted?
Well, they all explain it. Each person, this is why it feels like a video game, because each person, there's dialogue that explains why they didn't. So in their case, it's because they're in, for some reason, a steel projection. Are projection booths famously made of steel? They're just rooms.
No, I think that's okay. Maybe I'm following your lead on this one. I think that's the exposition.
That's what she says. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why they don't. And then each person explains at certain points why they didn't get sort of squished by the comet.
Yeah. Because there is a like the way that the movie ends, the weird sort of heteronormativity of it notwithstanding, the way that the movie ends leaves me like, well, wait a second, why don't they just turn into these things too? And so that must be it.
I think what is sort of explained is that it has to do with how much exposure you had to it. So some people, like Larry and Reggie, are in this like steel box essentially. So they had no exposure. Some people were like the vent was open, so they got a little.
I do know why he says it's a steel box. Because this is an old movie theater that used to show.
They're housing reels, right?
Yeah. So those reels were celluloid.
Yeah.
And that stuff was like
super extremely flammable.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
coated in nitrate.
He does sort of, that's what it's a nitrate. He does mention that very, very briefly.
And so it's I think as much as it's like it's very much like, here's why we're okay. Like that's really what they're doing. I think it's a very cute moment where they're just being kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
And I like that she is being allowed, like she is when she plays the video games earlier, like she is with guns. She's allowed to just be nerdy. There's no explanation for it. She's not less attractive because of it. And if anything, she's more attractive because of it. Yeah. Like she's just allowed to be the character that she is and the person that she is in this movie. And there's no like, but then you take her glasses off and she's hot all of a sudden. Like there's none of that bullshit. It's just like, no, she's hot already.
Oh, yeah, no, she starts out
and she's a total fucking nerd. Like she's having this weird hypothetical conversation about comic books. She's riding a motorcycle. Like she's just allowed to be this person.
Yeah.
That is a sort of like diametrically opposed in a lot of ways to what femininity is in 1984, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, she's the little spoon in this scene.
Yep,
and they're talking, and then she goes woo as they cut away, making me think that Larry probably went for some butt stuff.
Maybe.
So, cut to the morning. Los Angeles, usually a fucking zoo at all hours of the day, is mysteriously quiet.
Now, did you read how they do this?
They would like cut off streets like a block
just
at a time.
With the lights, they would just hold the light for like 2 minutes. So it'd be like the cop would be there to be like, we're holding the light for 2 minutes. Everybody just has to fucking hang on a minute. They would like guerrilla style charge in there, shoot the fucking scene, then get the fuck out, move on and do it again.
Damn.
Yeah. Because they didn't have the money to shut the city down. And so they would do it super early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, but still 6 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles is still gonna be super busy.
Yeah. When I was in LA a couple of years ago, I would get up early to like Uber over to this gym.
Just with the sunrise as is your way.
That's what the sun.
You do some Tai Chi in the morning.
That's what I do
on your balcony.
That's exactly. It's like you
and hit yourself in the face with a banana peel or whatever that fucking dude does.
Ashton Hall.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, but I would get up like super early because I had to fucking be at the office at a certain time to actually like fucking work with these people. And it would be like 6:30 or 7, and like the fucking freeway was jacked then too to get into the town. It was nuts. But the sun rises over the city, engulfed in a red haze.
And that's all that is just a filter.
Yeah. It's a very It must have been a new filter at the time because it feels like this is a filter that they use in Los Angeles movies all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's not a gel. It's like something different.
No, because I remember Dad used to have a bunch for his cameras, and it is literally it's a little screw-on cap, and it's just a gradation of red to like full transparency, and so it's like a 50% transition.
But like this again, I think points to how resourceful they are and how clever they are. That they do so much with like very, very little in this instance, and it really comes across as kind of eerie. Like when you see the city just kind of looking very vacant. I mean, there's no fucking people anywhere either. Like when you're just shutting it down with red lights and a cop to be like, hold on a minute.
Yeah. It's like the opening of Day of the Dead.
Yeah. But there's no alligator.
No alligator.
There should have been.
No clowns.
The movie would have benefited from an alligator.
Clothes litter the street like everybody got raptured. Then all the automated processes around the city start up, giving the eerie impression of a populated world, but without all the people. It's all
even the animatronic clown that Pee-wee locks his bike to before it gets stolen.
Yeah,
that starts up too.
Yep. It's all a little Dawn of the Dead like. A panning shot across the street reveals Reggie and Sam's mom's clothes just lying there in a pile of red dust.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah. At the movie theater, Larry, the sleazy projectionist, is mad that his guy never brought the old reels he rented him back. So he puts his jacket on and hits the streets to find the dude while Reggie obsesses over who DMK is.
And then but before he goes, she goes, "Oh, geez, don't I get an Egg McMuffin or anything?"
Right.
Again, really great.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, do me a favor." She's like, "I did you a favor last night."
Nah.
Yeah, sick birds all the way. When Larry gets to the door, he hears somebody gurgling on the other side. When he opens it, a zombie dude with a wrench just whacks him over the head and drags his body outside.
The zombies in this are kind of inconsistent in like what they are and how they operate. I guess it doesn't really matter.
No, but I do like the makeup a lot.
I like the makeup. I also like that they speak.
Uh-huh.
And like just depending on their varying level of decay or whatever, it makes them more frightening in a way.
Except for this one, because he's like...
They're never scary. No. Like, they're always a little goofy
this
looking.
This one's pretty silly.
But there is something about the fact that they talk that's a little off-putting.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, drags his body outside while Reggie plays Tempest some more in order to knock DMK's score off the list. And then she heads outside. And there's awesome fucking movie posters in this place. Mm-hmm. You got Death Race 2000 on the door. Escape from New York. Beastmaster is in there.
Nice. Pin in that.
Yep. Also, that's the theater called the El Rey Theater. Still open in Los Angeles. It's on Wilshire Boulevard in Central LA. You can go there.
I miss theaters like that.
Fucking A, right? With a little ticket booth out front.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess Coolidge Corner, I don't know if they still use it, but since they opened their big fancy section that they've been remodeling, you used to just walk up to the window like that and then go into the theater. Now you don't go in that way anymore, and it's very sad to me that you don't.
Yeah. She finds some clothes on the ground, and then the door closes behind her, locking her out of the theater. So she walks around to the back and finds the back door locked too. However, she also finds Larry's keys on the ground next to the bloody wrench that was used to kill him. She's drawn to some commotion and is cornered in the alley by the zombie dude who killed Larry.
Is he eating Larry?
So when he first
like holding a part of him?
Yeah, when he first pops out, he's holding his severed arm.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but you can't really tell.
No, because once they cut to the wide shot of him, it looks like, I don't know, like he's holding a piece of pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe they didn't feel confident that they'd get a PG-13 if he's holding an entire severed arm.
I wish I had a Larry pizza right now.
He appears to have torn Larry apart and now intends to hurt Reggie. And she warns him.
She's like, I gotta warn you, I know Kung Fu.
Right. She can kick his ass, and when he advances on her anyways, she's forced to demonstrate her skills, whipping the zombie's ass and hopping on Larry's motorcycle to beat a hasty retreat.
Yep.
She finds the city empty and very,
I love
very
this.
red.
So this is like it's not a montage. It's a little montagey, but it's basically like they're on a truck. They're on a flatbed truck.
Yeah.
So we're watching her kind of straight on from the ground up. It looks like she's riding through Los Angeles. But you can see as they're filming her, you can see it sort of washing over her that something's wrong.
Uh-huh.
And you see it as go in stages, and it's actually very well done. Like she's kind of picking up on the fact that something's not right as she's heading home. Again, I think it's these little moments that really sell this thing.
Yeah.
And it is to their credit, her and Kelli Maroney, that like if it weren't for that, I think this movie would be a failure.
Yeah. This because it's essentially it's a bottle episode in spirit. And so it hinges entirely on the performances of its cast, since there's like 3 people in the movie. So yeah.
And I think it requires them too to go through a certain range of emotions. Like obviously they are going to be goofy most of the time. Like that's the point of the movie, is it's Valley Girl but zombies.
Yeah.
But they're under the circumstances, and again, I think this goes to that authenticity. They do have to reckon with the fact that like everybody they know is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't think they lean in enough to that, but they do address it at various points. And if they hadn't done that, it would just come across as like kind of dumb, like really forced as like a comedy. And I think because they don't do that, because they actually do take the time to realize like there is a horrifying element to what's happened.
Yeah.
Because he said when he was talking to these girls about the movie, they were like, "Oh, it'd be fun. It would be an adventure. It would be this, that, and the other thing." And they said the only downside would be dating, because there wouldn't be anyone to date.
Right.
And so he's like, "Oh, well, I can solve that problem." I'm like, "Yeah, you oversolve that problem."
Right. She arrives home to find the place empty until she goes upstairs and finds her sister in her cheer uniform, getting ready to go to practice.
And their house is so 80s. It is wall to wall carpet, but like of different colors.
Yeah, it is.
Per room, the horribly tacky wallpaper.
It's like that super thick shag stuff too.
Yep. And then there's Sam, the Kelli Maroney's character, and she's wearing this like elaborate woolly cheerleading outfit.
It's gotta be. She had to be 1,000,000 degrees in that thing.
Yeah.
This is Southern California.
Yep.
Yeah. She is oblivious to what is happening. She's been trying to call people. And Reggie grabs her and tries to explain, but she's instead just like, what?
And then she shakes her and she goes, "You made me swallow my gum."
So they go outside to see the remains of the crowd in the street. Now, I swear, this is the neighborhood from Poltergeist.
I think it is.
Yeah. It looks, the houses all look like it.
And this is another moment where, so Reg is sort of out in the street and she's like, "Look around. Where are the children? It's like, here's Doris's clothes." And you can see it kind of washing over Sam. And again, it's that moment. And I think this is even more effective than when she's riding the motorcycle, because I think it really does start to hit her. And she just sort of turns and goes back inside and closes the door. And it's these very effective moments where, like, if it weren't for these, all that other shit would just be annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sam is disturbed and in denial, and she goes back inside. They argue.
So I don't know if you catch it. She says that the reason she's alive is that after Doris punches her, they get in a fight and she leaves. She's like, "I left a note that told her to fuck off," or whatever. And she goes and sleeps in like a metal tool shed.
Yeah.
And so that is why she is spared. So each person we meet is going to explain up front why they're still alive.
Right.
And then they're going to give you your objective on your fetch quest.
Yep. So they argue some more, but then they hear the DJ on the radio and it gives them an idea. So they hop in the car and drive into the city to see who's at the radio station.
Somebody needs to turn the fucking music down in this movie.
I know.
Because they're having sort of one-on-one conversations. They're talking kind of quietly to each other.
I think,
and the music is just jamming in the background.
The fucking audio mix on the version that I watched is all off. You can barely understand what they're saying, but you could hear the music just fine.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I think that whatever source material they have I don't know if they have the original audio, because I watched the Scream Factory one, the 4K version, and it's the same.
Yeah.
It's still just like fucking at an 11 while they're talking. And it's the worst music.
Yeah. Also, the interior of this radio station is what Netflix viewers think the 80s looked like.
I actually have a note. I was like, this is not like anything like radio station I've ever seen. This looks like a dance club.
Yeah, I know. It's all like neon lights and decorative black furniture.
But it's like a dance club, like when on Kids Incorporated, when they would go to the nightclub, or like Full House, they would have like a teen dance night.
Yeah,
at
like
whatever
Stacey Q is in town. So
yeah. And so it all like, it's so cheap and terrible looking. And they just have the DJ, like the set up, the soundboards and everything, just in the center of the room.
that makes sense. Why not? Yep.
Well, a lot of reasons why.
Speaking to the DJ booth, it is empty and it's all automated on tape. There's also another living dude sneaking around the place who jumps out, holds them at gunpoint. And he wants Sam to come out of the shadows and show him her eyes, which he eventually does.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about the zombies a bit. He's a truck driver that was going down to San Diego with a girl in tow. They stopped for gas when they saw one of those zombies. The girl freaked out and ran, and he found her dead and torn apart like a piece down the road.
Now, how did Hector, this is Hector, how is it that Hector
Right,
is still
'cause he
alive?
tells
Well,
you up
Hector
front.
spent the night in the back of the truck with the lady, and the truck is made of steel and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm telling you, every single one, they're just like, can you help me find my son? I need 7 bottles of bleach.
Oh, boy. Upset by the story, Reggie runs to the station bathroom. Realizing that his story upset her, Hector, the dude, follows her and tries to apologize, but she's just not having it. Sam, meanwhile, is fucking with the boards in the DJ booth. She gets on the mic and starts broadcasting herself out into the city.
I mean, who wouldn't, though? Who wouldn't?
I
do
absolutely
I would.
would.
That's the first thing I'd do.
I could
I'd be like,
not-
get out of my way, Hector.
Could not resist the siren call of a fucking microphone, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She's spooked when the radio phone line starts to ring. Reggie suggests that they head over to this military armory where they would go shooting with their father.
Oh, this part's rough, though, because she's like, this gun, this is fine, probably fine for date night in the
Ooh,
barrio. And I was like,
This movie,
yikes.
it steps out there every once in a while, and I'm like, fuck, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is still 1984.
I know. So, yeah, we've got a little side quest here, a place to go and get your guns.
Yep, exactly. And yet, we don't actually ever see them. They very clearly do go and do this, but we never see them do this,
Right.
which is weird.
I would imagine that there was a scene because he shows up later, a little later on, like a couple of scenes after this, like with an entirely different gun. So I would imagine that there was something.
They all
shot
have
that they
different
didn't
guns.
use.
They have like big guns eventually.
Yeah, they get the Mac 10s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they Sam comes in to tell them about the call. They received a call from some kind of think tank or something. So now we cut to the think tank. It's a big underground military compound full of science nerds. They can hear the girls just arguing on the radio.
It is literally the sink from Fallout New Vegas DLC.
They must have used been inspired by that.
Mm-hmm.
It is an actor shot up close in front of like a forced perspective model.
Oh my god! And I
love it. You can tell, but I love it. It's so cool.
I have a deep love of models, of like little model. Nobody does it better than Toho, but I love too how like kind of unashamed they are of it, where they're like, hey, it is a Boy Scout model camp. We got what we got, okay?
It's so cool, though.
Cue Jeffrey Lewis.
If the shot looks neat, it's all dark and like obscured in shadow and stuff. So like they are doing what they can to make you think like, oh, there's a underground military base nearby.
I mean, it's a little bit like when they do the interior shots at the beginning of Escape from New York, where everything is just like beep boop 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 computers.
Yeah. They can hear the girls arguing. They're planning on going up to bring the girls in, and there's some kind of sort of effect that the survivors of the comet passing are undergoing, and it doesn't sound good. It's a progressive illness that probably turns people into zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to nighttime in the city. Sam is racing down the highway, drinking a beer brand beer, just like you saw in that Repo Man movie, and driving a sweet Porsche. 2 motorcycle chips pull out behind her and pull her over. So she pulls over and starts chirping at them like everything is normal. But the cops are zombie dudes who try and pull her out of the car.
So I think I have a theory about this as well. I suspect this was probably supposed to be a scene in the movie, like in the narrative. Because when she's driving, she's talking to herself and she's kind of like complaining.
And she's
as
dressed
though
way different than what we just saw her in.
And she's complaining as though they're yelling at her for not giving them enough information. Like, you didn't get enough information from these people who called. Like, this is because it will turn out that this is a dream.
Yeah.
And it is way too specific to be a dream.
I wonder if this takes place after she wakes up in the department store, but they just cut all of that shit out and just repurposed this one thing for a double fake out dream sequence.
Yeah, because it feels very specific. Like there's a dialogue in this that probably you wouldn't put it in a dream sequence.
Right.
It's also kind of creepy that again, we have the zombies that are like more like the people in the Crazies. But one cop is like grabbing her face and the other one is like kind of grabbing at her underwear, which is really creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she's like,
adding a sexual component's always going to be real gross, especially since she's supposed to be like 16.
And it's a lighthearted movie.
Right.
And it's like when you throw that shit in there, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Okay. And then also, like, this is where we get probably our most violent scene, though.
Yeah,
like the guy's hand starts coming off.
Yeah, she's struggling with them and tearing the skin of one of their hands, and then suddenly wakes up on the couch in the radio station. Scared, she gets up, goes to the Super 80s bathroom, and boy, that is straight out of the Sharper Image catalog.
Oh, what, you mean the green room?
With the she goes there to clean up, starts undressing for a little cheap 80s movie skin. And then suddenly she's grabbed by one of the zombie cops and stabbed with a switchblade because it's the 80s.
Yeah.
As she wakes up for a second bad dream fake out. Reggie wakes up and goes to talk to Hector, who's aggressively doing sit-ups in the next room.
Kind of weird.
He's going.
But they have this conversation where he's like, I got to go to San Diego to check on my mom. And she's like, well, you know that nobody's alive, right? And he's like, yeah, well, you guys know for sure. And it's like, well, no, they don't. They know that Doris is dead. They don't know if their father's dead. I mean, presume. But what if he was in a projection booth? What if he was sleeping in a 16-wheeler truck?
Yeah, he was still in a steel bunker somewhere in Banana Land.
Yeah, a tool shed in someone's backyard. It's just like a weird to be like, you know for sure. It's like, no, we know that they don't know for sure.
Yeah. Reggie talks about her dad, and then they get around to the subject of Larry and her relationship with him. Dude was just a booty call, and then it gets awkward as things are starting to heat up between the two of them.
I think this is an interesting moment because this is one of the scenes where it feels like he's trying to address something. It's a social critique here because the conversation, this is more exposition, where she is essentially saying that our dad treated us like boys until it was very obvious that we were not boys. Which is to say, like, once they hit puberty, he couldn't keep doing that. And then he sort of, like, loses interest in them. And she says, he went off and found us a new mom. Then he went looking for a war, which actually I think is a very good line.
That is pretty good.
But it's like he's trying to say something about gender essentialism. I'm just not really sure what.
It's not quite coming out. It's almost like he knows what he wants to say, but he can't find the words to say it.
Yeah. And I like the scene, and this is another one of those moments where it's like a little bit more of this, a little bit more of like the acknowledgement of what is actually lost, because there is, in reality, you would have to sort of carry on, and you would have to try to find ways to not be bogged down by the terrible truth of the moment.
Oh yeah, yeah. There is there's a sort of realism that kind of hangs over the entire narrative, which is when these girls die, that's it.
Yep.
As far as we know, everybody else is gone.
Yeah. And I think I would have liked just a little bit more of those moments where it's just like, yes, we're all having fun. We're all going to the mall. Like, you see, I think they do this very effectively in Dawn of the Dead, where it's like they are kind of protecting themselves. They're fighting the zombies. They're fighting the bikers. But there are those moments where they're just like, man, fuck. The world is coming to an end, and we're all trying to pretend that it's not. And that sucks, and it's really hard. And I think that would have just gone a long way in little doses.
Yeah.
And they do it a little bit here and there, but I think he could have done it a little bit more.
Right.
Because they are teenagers still.
It's a lot to fucking put on a teenager.
It's sort of like if in Lord of the Flies, none of the children got upset.
just happily just went along.
Yeah, just freewheeling.
Sam sadly overhears them and seems to be getting some kind of a rash. And now in the morning, the girls test out a Mac 10 on a car.
Daddy would have gotten us Uzis.
She fucking ad-libbed that line, apparently.
She did, because the gun jams unexpectedly.
Yeah. And you see it on screen. Like, this is very much a no second takes thing. I was like, do those things fucking jam a lot? Because she basically, like, you can empty the magazine in one of those things, just holding the fucking trigger down for about 2 seconds. And then she fires off a burst and then struggles with the charging handle a bunch, and like nothing comes out. And it's like, oh shit, those things jam a lot, I guess.
It's he, I think, encouraged them to ad lib whenever they felt like it was going to punch up the script, because they didn't have any time to do. There's like not a lot of rewrites in any of this. There's no pickups at all. So it was basically like, you're going to get what you get the first time around. And so I think he was like, if you feel like something isn't going right, you got to run with it.
Yeah.
You got to yes and the scene.
They argue over Hector, ostensibly the last man on Earth, and the subject of their beef, which doesn't last. It's the whole thing is just that Reggie always gets out there snatching up every dude Sam is into.
And I think this is another one of those moments that was really good, where it's like she starts to realize, like, I liked this guy, and now there's no more guys.
Yeah, she has this moment where she was like, I had this fucking crush on this dude, and
yeah.
I really liked him, and I thought he was going to ask me out, and then this shit happened.
And like, I like those moments a lot, because I think they both nail them when they do them. I think she especially is very good at them. It feels very real and authentic.
They give her a lot of that stuff, and not a lot of that stuff goes to Reggie. And I think that's mostly because I think my preference for Sam in this movie is mostly because she has all of those moments.
She is more vulnerable as a character.
Yeah.
And I think that it would have gone, like, again, I think it would have gone a long way just to do a little bit more of that, to just like to talk about their father more, or like whatever. Like, you've lost everybody you know and love. And you got to say something.
Yeah. All you're left with is this fucking dude, Hector.
Yeah. And like, hey, Hector seems fine.
Hector's all right. You know,
he's not great.
If you removed his character, the movie is fundamentally unchanged.
Yep, pretty much.
Hector arrives at his mom's house and runs in when he hears music on the turntable, but he finds the place empty. He starts grabbing up some keepsakes and is distracted when he hears a commotion at the back door.
Apparently the pictures in Hector's house are pictures of Thom Eberhardt's wife and children.
Huh. All right. Yep. Someone is knocking and snarling like a wild beast. Mm-hmm. It just makes sense to go answer the door then, right?
I do like, though, he answers the door and then he closes it immediately.
It's like, we don't want any kid. He tries to drive them off, but opens the door to find a child zombie dude just standing there. The kid smashes his way in and chases Hector around the house while he throws shit in his path instead of just blasting the kid.
Hector,
with that
you
gun.
gotta shoot that boy.
Just shoot him right in the fucking face. He's making it so easy.
I bet killing a child would have gotten them an R.
Definitely.
I think more children need to be killed in these films. I'm just gonna say it.
At the science compound, don't ever fucking hurt a dog, but kids, fair game.
Oh, absolutely not. I won't watch a movie if you hurt a dog.
At the science compound,
I don't care about kids.
There's that fucking Spanish movie, Who Could Hurt a Child?
It's great.
You could apparently.
We got hurt all the children at the end. Except for the ones that get away. Spoiler.
At the science compound, scientist Mary Warrenoff runs some data, takes some notes, seeming to be losing some kind of cognitive ability when she misspells some words and then struggles to remember how the word is actually spelled.
I feel like this is probably an improvised moment as well.
Oh yeah. It's a nice touch though. I like the idea that they're just they're laying down the rules of how this thing works. And that's
what I mean. So everything, there's so much like telegraphing everything in this movie, but they do it really well.
It's I think in any other movie, somebody would say, well, you know, the first stage is cognitive
in the X-Files,
decline.
they'd be like, Mulder, do you mean this is stage 1 when this happens?
Yeah, but in this one, I mean, they're just showing, not telling, and it's effective and it's cool. It's a nice little way to just kind of get it across that all of these people are fucked.
Yep. Now, I have a question. Do you think that Jeffrey Lewis got typecast a lot because of his Bill Gates hairstyle? He plays a lot of weird nerds.
Yeah, I don't know, because he was also always kind of like the drunk prospector type in Westerns.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's either
he's
or.
got, It's like almost a bowl cut in this.
It's very Klaus Kinski.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not quite as fluffy.
Yes, true. Science dude Jeffrey Lewis comes in and informs her that she's going into the city to bring back the survivors that they heard. But also a helicopter has landed, delivering 2 surviving children from the city to the base.
And the boy in this pair of children is the son of the woman who plays Doris.
Oh, nice. All right.
He also has real Rusty from Family Vacations vibes. I think it's the braces.
It's got to be. Overpowered by the sound of the helicopter, she argues with Jeffrey Lewis, but we can't hear what they're saying. Out in the city, the girls chill on a police car while talking about Hector. Does Reggie like him? This is where they have the.
This is the
where
scene
they have
with
the talk about the kid that she liked. She thought it was an
This is I think it's a great scene.
Yep, that's not going to happen now that everybody's dead. Again, she kind of cries in this scene too, just giving it her all.
Yeah, she's again. I think it sucks that like the 2 of them are really, really good, and I just think they should have gone on to do a lot more. I mean, they both have careers. It's probably fine for them, but they are wonderful actors.
I could have done. Yeah, I think we're expressing a disappointment that maybe they don't.
Yeah. Or,
maybe just because I'm just like in love with Kelli Maroney in this movie and just would love to have seen more of her elsewhere out there. Because a lot of the stuff she's in nowadays is just like, hey, remember me from Night of the Comet? And Chopping Mall.
And that's essentially exactly what happened. So around like 92 or 3 or whatever. So she does, if I remember correctly, she stops acting because she ended up having like a couple children in a row.
Yeah.
And so she obviously focused on that. And then she kind of comes back. But when she comes back, it's like kind of all that's really there for her is stunt casting in real cheap stuff.
Yeah. No.
And I think that's, I guess one of the things that maybe we're expressing too is throughout the 80s, we get a certain number of people crammed down our throats, and not all of them are very talented. And so when you see people who kind of sort of fizzle out by the end of the 80s, it's sort of like, you should have been bigger.
Right. Yeah.
It's a desire to see more rather than they should be discontented with their state of their career.
True.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't want to come across as like minimizing whatever choices they did make.
Right. To distract themselves from the gigantic bummer of the end of the world, they invade a department store and try on all the clothes to a cover of Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Shopping montage.
Yeah, women be shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't realize it, but there's a creepy dude in the security booth just watching them over the monitors.
But before we get anywhere with that, we have to speculate as to whether or not Hector is a homosexual.
Oh, yeah, there was this.
Again, at the end of the day, it's still 1984.
Oh, fucking right. Yeah, because he didn't hit on Reggie, so obviously he must be gay.
I mean, it could be a lot worse.
I know. She is a fine lady.
Yeah.
But they don't realize it, but there's a creepy dude in the security booth watching them over the monitors. He realizes some bros in a smoky shop, and they all head down to spoil the fun.
This scene is so bizarre.
It is really, really weird.
It feels like they jammed it in there.
And
it also very much feels, because they're going to get into a gun battle with these guys. This really feels like a video game. Like, even their firing pattern has like a rhythm to it. So you know when you can come out. And
Right. One of them's got the gun, and the other girl's she has no gun, so she has to throw shoes in order to like debuff the bad guys.
That's right.
So yeah, the spooky dude gets on the mic to torment them, and one of these bros snatches up Sam's Mac 10 when she isn't looking. Reggie gets hers though, and then the dudes attack, and there's a big gunfight. And it's a little bit like the gunfight from Elves in the sense that it's a little too long and not a lot happens.
No. Though I would like to say I was proud of myself for remembering Mac 10. Because I was like, no, that's not an Uzi. Nope. What is that gun called?
No, it's the old boxy Mac 10. It's the sort of fucking American version of the Uzi. So yeah, Sam throws a lot of shoes to distract the dudes when Reggie hoses them down with bullets. A lot of mannequins blow up. And then
literally explode.
Yep.
Now, I think they're supposed to be like, oh, they shot them and that's why they blow up, but you see them explode.
Right. Sam ends up cornered by the creep in the security booth, who has conspicuously opted not to take his sunglasses off.
He is also doing this character with bizarre flair.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But again, this is the part where they were like, ooh, what if we did like a Repo Man thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They hold her at gunpoint to draw Reggie out, and then Reggie arrives in an elevator with one of the creepy bros held at gunpoint. So the lead creep just shoots him. And she's like, what the hell? And you're crazy. And he's like, I'm not crazy. I just don't give a fuck, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, the science dudes arrive in their helicopter and use a little scientific deduction to determine where in the city the girls could be hiding out. And they pretty
what
easily
do we know
figure it
about
out.
ladies? We know that ladies love shopping.
Yeah. He looks at them and goes, hey, women be shopping. And so there they go. They go to the mall. Back at the
And thank God that he is the guy in the mall has set up this elaborate, like Dr. No-esque kind of contraption in order to kill them, because otherwise they wouldn't have time to get there.
Right. Back at the store, the dudes revealed that they used to be stock boys at the store and considered themselves lords of the domain. They're pissed that the girls were just taking all of their stuff. Lead creep.
This feels like a nod to Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
Like, this is our stuff.
Right. Yeah. He takes his sunglasses off and, he's not looking too good. He's all drawn.
I mean, he goes from this relatively normal to ghoul in about 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, because that is, again, conforms to the rules that are being laid out. Like, you lose your mind as this thing progresses, because like what Mary Warnoff says early on is when they get there is this doesn't take days like we thought it takes hours to fully transform.
Yeah, like it takes hours. Isn't this movie stupid, everybody? Mary Warnoff.
Yeah. They play Russian roulette with the girls while another creepy bro wearing too many sunglasses takes the occasional Polaroid of them. He's about to shoot Sam when the science dudes bust in and shoot the creeps dead. Now they go back to the helicopter and they take Reggie back, making some shitty comments about how Sam is probably too stupid.
Yeah. The fuck?
What the hell's that all about? They also suggest that the girls might be sick with something, so they leave Sam behind since she seems further along in whatever this disease is.
Well, I think what she's doing, she's trying to get them to not take her so they don't kill her.
Right.
Because Mary Warnoff is basically being like, I don't want to do this. We shouldn't do this. And she's like trying to spare them as much as she can.
Yep. She and Sam go back to the store and talk about Hector while Mary Warnoff shoots Sam up with some sort of drug. Sam thinks that she just has a regular rash, and Mary suggests that this is going to cure her of whatever the disease is. And then Sam gets real sleepy and drops off. Mary talks to the other science dudes, suggesting, unfortunately, that Sam is dead. Aw. And then they talk about the condition.
And this is actually what was supposed to happen. Sam was supposed to be dead.
Yeah. And then like people on the set were like, no. We love her too much. You can't.
Yeah, that would have been a real fucking bummer. Again, you can't have a movie that is lighthearted up until that and then fucking kill off, Fievel at the end.
Right. They talk about the condition. It's accelerating. What they thought would take weeks to kill the survivors will now take hours. So Mary then shoots the dude where he stands.
Love it.
Yep.
I love that. Again, it is a yet another woman doing the right thing in defiance of terrible men.
Right. Out in the city and true to his word, Hector has returned in a fancy old school sedan and a Santa Claus suit.
And he parks about 2 blocks away for some reason. I think just so they could get that shot of him running dressed like Santa with all the presents.
Right. That or he just wanted to get his steps in.
I get it.
Yeah. He returns to the radio station expecting Reggie to be there. And instead, it's just Mary Warnoff with her gun out.
In a scene she wrote entirely herself.
It's a pretty good scene. I like the fact
it's
that
a pretty good scene.
She gets him at gunpoint and then she's like, I don't think I'm going to be
He's like,
this.
Here, do you want this?
You want this gun? He's like, nah,
He's like,
good.
no, I have my own.
Yep. She's wearing sunglasses now too and seems defeated. She sets up a big suicide shot, leaves Hector her notes for a serum that'll cure their condition, and explains that like a bunch of dummies, they let the ventilation ducts open at the compound and the dust got inside and infected them all with the condition. And
that is why they did not go out immediately. I mean, there really is no explanation for why some people just devolve into dust and other people turn into these weird zombies.
Right.
Like that part is a little like, but who gives a shit?
I know.
And Mary Warnow also, she goes out to this raging sax solo. That's how I want to die. It's a real squonky saxophone in the background.
When I go, for sure, hire Tim Capello. I'm going to put that in my fucking will. Back at the compound, science guy Jeffrey Lewis grills Reggie about whether she's had this disease or that.
He learned all of this at Sea Org.
Was he a Scientologist?
Oh, yeah. That's how fucking Juliette Lewis became a Scientologist. She was raised in it.
See, this is the thing. I did not know this about her. Is she still a Scientologist?
No.
No?
Nope.
So the science ladies hook a couple of survivors up to a machine that'll draw up all their blood to make whatever their serum needs. The condition is making them all kinds of stupid, and they're making a lot of mistakes. The interrogation goes on, and the light seems to be bothering science guy Jeffrey Lewis, so he puts on his sunglasses as Reggie grills him about what she's doing there.
I like how evasive she is.
Yeah. See, like two could play at this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because again, she's very capable.
Yeah. Her host isn't terribly forthcoming and explains that her sister is dead, while the science ladies prep the kids to take their blood and kill them too. So the rest of the compound is starting to worry about their missing colleagues. Another science guy goes in to apologize to Reggie about killing her sister. She's thrown some equipment around out of anger. And when he gets too close to her, she whacks him over the head with some of that equipment.
It's the keyboard.
Is it?
I don't think you could knock a man out with a keyboard.
Nope. That's why I assumed it was something like bigger or heavier. No, you could not. No. Not even one of those 80s keyboards.
Big clunky
ones with the chunky mechanical keys. Outside, Hector arrives at the compound in his sweet car. He's dressed like a cowboy now and talking like a cowboy.
Why is he doing a bit?
I don't know.
Like maybe he don't know these guys.
Maybe he just feels like he needs to be like a little down homey.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta be friendly. Also, everything gets a little samey when there aren't that many people around. So
yeah, he starts chatting up one of the guards and draws him out with the promise of a girl in the trunk that he might like.
I also feel like maybe this part we must have missed something, because when does he pick her up?
See, that's the thing, is the scene where she's driving and gets stopped by the cops.
Yep.
I feel like there's a whole scene there, which is like, this is how they come back together. Like maybe he's driving along and he rescues her from that scene.
That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden she's just
she gets out and she's wearing like a big fucking overcoat and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, where did all this shit come from? He pops the trunk and it's Sam, who appears to be dead. But then she wakes up suddenly and grabs the guard so Hector can smash him with the trunk.
Also, the implications of all of that are horrible.
Hey, buddy, come here. Listen, I got this dead girl in the trunk. You might want to you might be interested in fucking her.
Oh, yeah, the 80s.
Yep. But then they're like, yeah, you fucking pervert. And they pay him back for it. Turns out Sam was just tranquilized to make it look like she was dead for the benefit of the other science guy. Reggie is running around trying to find her way out of the compound.
She ends up in a very foggy laboratory.
The smoke machine in this scene is
working overtime. Yeah, it's like the When Doves Cry video. Like, it is just...
Yeah,
there's real smoky in there.
Reggie runs around trying to find her way out of the compound as Hector sneaks around, just rigging compound vehicles up with bombs.
I also like that there's an announcement that comes on the overhead PA system, and the guy starts it with, "Excuse me, everyone."
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Mm-hmm. She then finds the lab where they're stealing blood and gets got by his guards. And then the science lady, they start hooking the kids up to the blood stealing machine, promising them that if they just breathe the gas, they'll wake up at the North Pole with Santa Claus.
And they don't believe in Santa Claus. And Jeffrey Lewis comes in and goes, "What? You don't believe in Santa?"
What?
And that's about as warm as he gets.
Yep. Then Sam pulls the main power and shuts down a lot of the systems in the compound, which puts everybody on high alert.
Oh, there's also the little girl. The little girl goes, "My parents told me never to breathe anything from strangers." Which, again, great line.
Yep. Her parents probably also x-rayed her fucking Halloween candy.
Yeah, you just take it on down to fucking, what's that place called?
The hospital. You know, where sick people go.
Just normal sick people.
Just innocent sick people. Mm-hmm. Reggie gets away in the chaos, goes back to rescue the kids. Sam sneaks up, nearly gets shot, and then they sneak off with them children.
Okay, I feel like Eberhardt got to the end of this movie and was like, how the fuck am I supposed to end this thing? And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to blow the whole thing up.
They were rewriting this shit on the set, for sure. Yeah.
Because it really feels like they got to the end and were like, oh, an ending. And they were like, clock's ticking, buddy.
Right. Yeah.
You got $4 left.
So when the science guys get to the room, they find the science ladies all tied up and hooked up to the laughing gas, just laughing and laughing, which is not really how laughing gas works, but whatever. It's a cartoon. So Sam and Reggie go topside in an elevator. And they hop in Hector's car to make their escape. They stop the car some distance from the base and look back as science guy Jeffrey Lewis and his goons get in the rigged vehicles. Lewis is starting to look like one of the zombies, and when they get in the car, he's fully changed and attacks his bros. They start up the vehicle, and it explodes.
Perfect.
No, it's not over yet, though. One of the zombified science guys emerges from the dark and tries to steal the little girl away, but they struggle a bit, and Hector shoots him. Now it's all good.
Now, we get a moment here where it's like the next day, and their hose, like it starts to rain or something.
And that's what the part where I was like, so does the rain like make everything okay? Like I'm trying to figure out what's happening here.
Well, so it starts to wash all the people down the drain, like the dust of the people. That's where your movie should have ended, right there.
Right there.
Roll the fucking credits, right there over that.
Yep.
But they don't.
No, we get a shot of the skies that are all clear in a way that Los Angeles was not known for in the 1980s.
Nope.
So now, God fucking damn it. Somewhere in the city,
buckle up, everybody.
the kids are all dressed up like they're going to church in Atlanta or something. And Reggie is wearing this ridiculous dress and is manically taking pictures of them, just fretting about everything.
And they're so cute. Oh, I love you so much.
Just fretting about everything in a way that is completely inconsistent with how she's been acting the whole movie.
Yeah.
Hector
is throwing the guns away. It's like, you probably still need those,
I know.
the marauders and all.
Yeah. Dressed up also, he's dressed up like he's going to church in Atlanta. Nice suit. Just throwing away all the guns.
Fucking hate this so much.
Sam waits across the street for them, not acting like a gigantic psycho. The family goes to cross the street and for some fucking reason waits for the lights to change out of safety.
Well, she says, we do not cross against the light. And my note says, God, I hate you.
What? Like, who is this person? What are you
She
doing?
even calls her Regina in this, which is very interesting because throughout the entire movie,
She's been
either
Reggie.
Reg or Reggie.
Yep.
And now they're using her full female name.
Yep. Sam runs into the street mocking them when all of a sudden here comes a dude in a Mercedes, almost hitting her. They flirt a bit and she jumps into the car with him. His name is Danny Mason Keener.
You know how people often introduce themselves with their full Christian name.
They drive off. His license plate is DMK. Crane shot away. Fuck this ending. Roll credits.
It is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I hate it so much.
So much. It is
a betrayal.
It's not just that it's a total fucking betrayal of this character that you've seen this entire movie just kicking ass. It's also just stupid.
Oh, it's dumb as hell.
It's stupid.
It doesn't
Where does
need
this
to
fucking,
be there.
like, this maternal instinct come from all of a sudden? And why are they dressed this way? And why are they taking on these kids like they're their children?
It's the same reason we get Newt in Aliens. A woman has to have a child.
Oh.
That is what they are really for. And it is such fucking bullshit. I hate this ending. It ruins the whole movie because I think this is not a groundbreaking film. It is not a revolutionary film. It's kind of a dopey teen movie. But I think they're doing some very interesting things vis-a-vis characters.
Yeah.
And
also,
and
I
kind
like
of
that thing that
defying
you pointed out
stereotypes.
just a minute ago. They call her by her full feminine name, where before she's been, kind of a sort of agendered, or even just a dude's name.
Yeah. Like it's like it feels like, okay, now we've gotten past that.
Okay,
First of all,
you've had your fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks so hard.
Yeah,
because
listener, if you have not watched this movie, just shut it off at the scene where it's raining. That's it, and you will have a much better movie.
Because I think there is a lot to be said for these characters. The fact that they're written by a man and the fact that they're so fucking cool throughout the whole thing. And then it turns its back on us in the hardest way that feels like such a fucking sellout moment. It's terrible.
I just, yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Fucking why? I just, I don't know. It's disgusting is what it is.
And I think because of that, that's the movie's super dated to begin with. It doesn't hold up that well anyway. It feels very much of its time, but I still think there was a lot of fun to it until you hit that point. And then you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, it would probably have felt this way in 1984 as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there wasn't, well, I mean, it's not necessarily their business to be spoiling a fucking movie, but that nobody addresses the ending.
Someone did. Sort of.
Yeah, but fuck that shit. But yeah,
That's
otherwise,
terrible.
no, doesn't really hold up, but it's still a lot of fun. It certainly made a believer out of me. Like, I went into this one kind of going like, I guess we're just going to get this one over with. But
It's a little bit different. It's not the usual 80s fare, and I like that.
yeah, I do. And it treats its characters, it treats its female characters who are the center of the show. They're the spotlight's on them the whole time. It lets them have a big old fucking power fantasy, but also lets them be vulnerable, lets them be feminine. It isn't essentially like what we've seen in the past where, like, you know, David mentioned earlier, where it's like when a guy writes a strong female protagonist, he writes a guy, but casts a woman in the part.
Or it's someone who has to become that
Yeah.
under the circumstances. They start out this way.
Yeah.
This is who they are at the very beginning. It's only at the end that they're somebody different
It's
for some
very
reason.
anomalous for its time. Like, this is not like, I mean, Red Dawn kind of goes there with its female characters as well, a little bit.
Yeah, there's still a lot of softness to them too, though.
Yeah, you know. Well, that's what I mean is same sort of vibe, which is unusual for a fucking John Milius movie, but
Well, because he hated everybody, especially women.
but this is not something that you saw in the 80s very often. Women were women, men were men, particularly the second fucking term of Reagan. Yeah, it's a fucking really interesting movie. It's on its surface, it's very silly and very fun, but yeah, it contains a multitude, I guess.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay much attention to it. You just put it on. It's fun to have on.
Yeah. Loud music.
So, oh, man.
Whole
lot of it.
world is celebrating.
God, I love that song. That was so good.
Yeah. Night of the Comet. It was a good time. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, get some.
Get some. So, well, that's one way to explore the apocalypse. What's what's next?
We're going to be sticking with the apocalypse for a while. God, I should have jammed some Resident Evil in there.
I'll tell you what, between these two movies that we're doing, we should have done something incredibly fucking dumb just to take the edge off. Something that had at least 2 pie fights in it.
I mean, don't worry. We are doing something incredibly fucking dumb. It's just not. It's like coming near the end.
I think that these two movies really need a palate cleanser right in the middle and then right after it.
Yeah. So next week, 99-cent rental, we'll be back with the terrifying 1983 made-for-TV post-apocalyptic shocker, The Day After.
Guys, The Day After is on its surface. It's a made-for-TV movie that's very intense and very moving. It is a movie that did in fact fucking
scared the shit out of people.
It resulted in some suicides, but also it resulted in fucking Gorbachev and Reagan going to the table for nuclear disarmament talks.
But not to be outdone, there's also the British. And in 2 weeks, Bring Me the Axe will return, and we will watch the equally terrifying British made-for-TV post-apocalyptic downer, Threads, which actually is probably even more terrifying.
I think that Threads is far fucking worse than The Day After.
It's extremely dark.
I dread having to fucking watch it for this podcast, but I am very, very fascinated. I think Threads is the better movie. I am extremely fucking fascinated by it. Also, I saw it during, not all of it, just a certain scene when I was 10 years old, when they aired it in the United States, the one time on PBS. I tuned in just in time for the nuclear attack.
Oh, nice. That's when people's faces start melting off. I am going to break protocol, and I will let everybody know after that double feature shocker du jour, we are going to be watching This House Possessed.
My God.
So you're going to get a whole lot of fucking stupid from that movie.
Is that also a made-for-TV movie?
It sure is.
Oh, my God. We're on a fucking roll here.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, just stock up on your fucking medication.
But also This House Possessed.
Get a stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get a teddy bear, whatever brings you comfort. Get your weighted blanket out.
Yeah, faces are going to melt off. Ladies going to pee her pants.
And we are going to
tell you all about it.
Probably make some Simpsons references and do a innocent men joke or two in the middle of these dour, horrifying post-nuke movies.
You're welcome.
All right. So I think we got a guest for Day After.
We do. I believe so.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I'll have to ask him.
Guys, it's going to be interesting. We'll see you next week with The Day After. We'll see you in 2 for fucking Threads.
Boys, this is